Thay is back now.
Okay.
Dope. Yay. Let me finish nomming on this delicious burger. All right. So, after confirming that you at least knew of Daggerford and the country of Thay, Lamb begins telling you what he's been doing here recently. He says that he led a small force of about 20 adventurers on an assault onto a place that was called Bloodgate Keep, which held what they had come to find due to some rebels within Thay who had come to them with information. Actually held a very large and very powerful transportation circle within it. While one or two people going from point to point is, annoying from a military sense, these transportation circles would be able to send literal armies from Thay to the Sword Coast within moments. Kind of a bad thing when Thay wants to, when Tam wants to invade the entirety of Faerun.
Mm-hmm.
So, Lan led a force that was able to break into Bloodgate Keep and take control of the transportation circle there and ultimately destroy it, thus stopping any threat coming from Thay through that particular avenue. However, Lan continues on. He says, we discovered some more due to another one of our accomplices within Thay. One of these rebels told us that the Bloodgate was not just one. There's an entire nexus of these magic portals that exist and allow Thayans to transport all over Faerun. What we're worried about is them coming through again, for them finding another place to get through. But we also noticed that there's a place that this Bloodgate Nexus connects to that our contact has access to, called the Doom Vault. That he kind of looks at you all, fully expecting somebody to know what the Doom Vault is.
I should know this.
No.
Oh.
I don't think any of us.
Kind of look at him and raise an eyebrow and say, come again.
Sorry, another bite. With that, Lan kind of sighs and shakes his head. He says, I keep forgetting that other people don't know the same things I do. Sorry. With that, he explains that the Doom Vault is a place somewhere in Thay that is a literal super dungeon. It is one that was constructed purely to train armies within it, so that they would be able to take any kind of challenge presented to them. However, Lan continues, one thing we learned about the Doom Vault is that there's a hidden place within it somewhere that holds phylacteries of Tam. With that, he once again kind of looks at you all, hoping that you know what a phylactery is.
I do, but I don't know if Berwyn does.
I can never tell if Kaylin's trying to talk or not. I hear the little chime in chat, but I can't tell.
Nope.
Okay, I just didn't want to interrupt. I'm guessing.
No idea.
I'm guessing I would also not know.
Okay. So with that, he sighs once again, looking at you. He says, the reason that liches are so scary is because you can't kill them. They refuse to die. You could drive them into the earth. You could drop them in a pit. You could put them under the surface of a volcano. It doesn't matter. They'll come back because of their phylacteries. They put portions of their soul within them, and that makes them live forever, unless you take out their phylacteries.
And how would one do such or accomplish such a feat?
With that, Lang kind of shrugs. He says, if you can find it, it's typically just a mundane item. Smash it on the ground, blow it up with a spell, sit on it for all I care. You have some heavy armor on, you'd probably crush it. But you have to find it first. And we haven't been able to do that up until now.
Until now.
Fat.
Until now, so what has changed?
With that, he kind of raises a finger. He says, we have access to the Doom Vaults. We can get a small group in. I couldn't take my full force from Bloodgate Keep there, and honestly, I'm not in shape to do so at the moment. But you are, and you're a small enough group that you could make it in. And we could run reconnaissance, run interference from the outside so you aren't discovered. You can go in, figure out where these phylacteries are, destroy them, get back out. It's pretty simple.
Nothing's ever that simple.
With that, Lan kind of turns to Kaylin and just smiles at her. She's probably the brains of the outfit.
So, how do you propose we get in? Do you have a method for us to get in easily and go undetected?
With that, he kind of nods and holds his hands out. He says, yes, I can get you there, or at least get you in contact with my contact. And once you go from there, or once you make that connection, you should be able to get into the Doom Vault relatively easily. We have plans in place already to make sure no communication is able to go to or from this dungeon, as well as spies and warriors set on the outskirts of it, due to our Thay contact giving us portal locations and such. So if anybody escapes from you, we should be able to take care of them, and nobody will be calling for backup. That being said, once you're inside, you're going to be on your own for the most part.
Have you gathered, what information have you gathered? Have you gathered maps? Do you have any kind of locations, anything that may be useful to us?
With that, he kind of sighs. He says, no, as much as I would like to have that information, Saztam is smart, which annoys me even further that you can't just kill him too. No, the contact we have, she works in this gate, as she refers to it, a gatehouse of some sort. It basically controls the portals going to and from the Doom Vault. However, she was never informed of what was within the Doom Vault. It's a manner of security they use. The less you know, the better. So she knows how to do everything in the gatehouse, but as far as where it leads, nothing.
Very well. So our goal is to prevent the invasion. And beyond that, anything else we can do while we are there? Anything you would like to see us do while we are there?
With that, Lan holds up 3 fingers. He says, you should have 3 goals on this mission. 1, destroy the Red Wizard's monstrous creations. There's experiments and monsters within this Doom Vault, within this dungeon. Destroy anything you find. That way, those denizens can't be released on innocent people. He lowers a 2nd finger. Says 2, gain access to wherever these phylacteries are being held. It's in some sort of vault deep within this dungeon. We just don't know where. Get access to it, and then once you're inside, he lowers his 3rd finger. Destroy the phylacteries within the vault. Once you've done those 3, get out.
How do we get out? The way we came?
With that, he kind of shrugs. He says, not too sure on the specifics, but apparently there are certain places within the Doom Vault that you'll be able to teleport in and out of it as long as you have access to the gatehouse. And with that, he kind of raises a finger up and taps his head, which we do due to our contact as long as she doesn't betray us.
Such an important if.
And one that could potentially get us killed if it goes awry.
With that, Lan kind of shrugs. He says, I wouldn't worry too much about it. This person is helping us because she does not want Zaztam in power. If you succeed on your mission, it does a big blow, a disastrous blow to his power. He'll be weak and possible to be killed, actually killed. I don't see her betraying us if you do your job. Now, if you piss her off, well, I can't help you there.
Very well. And when will we set out?
With that, Lane kind of leans off of the table once again, kind of grimacing at his wounds. Kind of shrugs. As soon as you're ready.
Kind of look back at the others. Obviously, just getting in the door. Probably take a couple minutes, put a few items away, things like that. But then would be willing to head forward.
Yeah, I just want to send a messenger to my sister. That's it.
Is there a medic or anything within the village that we could send him to?
You probably could, and as you kind of suggested, he looks at you and raises an eyebrow. Says, do you expect a common medic to be able to heal? And he kind of points down at his wounds. This? With that, he kind of shakes his head. He says, no. Don't worry about me. Get your stuff ready. Meet me down here when you're ready to go. I'll be fine. I promise.
Very well. So yeah, I'll go and put a couple items away, kind of clear up things, lighten my bags a bit, and I guess this is probably where we would exchange details on everything that's transpired.
Sure.
I imagine Caitlin would, as she hands me the collapsible pole. Yeah.
Take the pole out. Okay, Markinor, don't light this on fire, please. Hold the pole in my hand, shoots out to 10 feet. This is for you, so you don't have to carry that stupid stick around. And then collapse it back down to 1 foot and hand it to him.
And as I take it in my hand, I look at her and say, but I liked my stick. I kind of smile and then say, no, don't worry. This will do just fine. I greatly appreciate it. And everybody should see all of my gear now, right? I mean, well, no, I'd be traveling. It'd probably be on my pack, if anything.
I mean, I'd imagine as you're getting ready, you're probably putting armor and such on. So,
right.
Feel free to describe what all your stuff looks like.
So, the work that I had done, my armor set, as I had it reconditioned, is now completely coated in what is it, adamantite. So the outer edges, or the outside of it, is a black sheen, and then under the light you can see the blue of the mithril underneath of it. The hammer of Durgadon has also been coated as well, and has a couple of neat little features to it that we'll learn about later. And the shield, I had a custom shield crafted that has the impression of Tyr's holy symbol in it. And then as we're kind of talking, feeling really excited about the shield, I kind of hold it up and cast like cure wounds on Kaylin, and as I do, they watch as the radiance of the shield, it begins to, or the face of the shield begins to illuminate like a light blue color, where the emblem is, kind of symbolizing that I'm using that as my focus.
Dope.
Yeah. all flavor. It's all it is, pretty much, except for the adamantite, which covers just about everything, just to keep it from breaking easily.
All right. Does anybody have anything else they need to do?
Sounds like we're good.
Oh, wait.
Going
Let me
once.
run back in my room and grab my staff. Okay, I'm good to go now.
All right. So as everybody begins to gather in front of Lan, he kind of paces back and forth. As you're all assembling up, when you finally all four back downstairs, he nods, kind of walks forward and begins to just put his hand up and kind of start motioning for y'all to step to the right towards the front door. And you all kind of look at him, kind of baffled, but you do so and move backwards and eventually arrive towards the beginning or the middle of this carpet. With that, he kind of nods and steps back. He says, "The funny thing about teleportation circles, you can put them almost anywhere." With that, he kind of raises a hand, he waves, "Y'all be safe." And with that, you vanish.
Yeah.
Wait.
And goodbye.
So as you vanish out of white light, kind of blinding you for a few moments as you feel your feet kind of resting back on solid ground again after this moment of weightlessness, you open your eyes and realize that it's super dark. It's hard to see now compared to the very brightly lit keep that you were in before. You arrive in a shadowy hall with glowing teleportation circles etched into the floor. Before you have time to really consider your situation, the image of a female red wizard suddenly appears and speaks. "I am Cyrana," she says. "It was I who brought you here. Welcome to Thay."
And we're just hearing this in our head, right?
You're hearing it in your head, and you're seeing a giant, essentially a floating head in front of you.
Okay. Can we communicate silently, or do we have to communicate openly to be able to speak to it?
Based on the fact that you hear the sound kind of reverberating around this room that you're in, you're assuming you have to talk out loud.
Okay. Thank this individual and say, and I don't believe we have been introduced. Who exactly are you?
With that, you see this mental image kind of raise an eyebrow. It says, "I just said, I am Cyrana."
Sorry.
With that, she kind of shakes her head. It's like, "I hope Lan knew what he was talking about." Whatever. With that, she continues on. She says, "Many red wizards chafe under the rule of Zaztam. Once, Thay was a land of learning and power. Now, death scours Thay while the Lich Lord ignores all concerns other than his quest to become a god. If his mad plans are left to run their course, none will be left alive here to worship him." She continues on. You see her kind of looking around the room that you're within. She says, "This is a magic gatehouse from which I can send you to the Doom Vault, the heart of the Lich Lord's domain deep beneath Thay Mount. The Doom Vault is a secret laboratory and containment structure, beneath which lies a hidden storehouse where the phylacteries of Zastam's elite liches are held. There, the Lich Lord's power can be broken, with your aid, of course. I offer you an opportunity to take the fight to the Lich Lord. I offer you the chance to help me see to it that Zastam's power is broken. The phylactery vault is where you can make that happen." With that, she kind of raises her chin, looking down at you, and says, "What say you?"
Well, obviously we're in. Just send us directly where we need to go, and we will take care of the rest for you.
Also, do you have any idea what they look like? Factories, that is.
With that, she kind of raises an eyebrow at Markinor, says, "You wish to know nothing about where you're going? You're not sure if you're brave or just foolish." And with that, she turns to Berwin. She says, "I know not exactly what they look like, but from all the stories I've heard, when you see a phylactery, you'll know what it is. and you'll be able to tell on the sight of it.
Hearing
Oh.
her kind of call me a bit foolish, I look up at her and say, "The undead and liches are not a thing to be tampered or left to handle themselves and do what they please. I am anxious and ready to take the fight to them immediately."
And with that, you see Serana kind of nod. She says, I appreciate your fervor, cleric, but you should at least know some information. Otherwise, you're just going to die. And honestly, that doesn't help me at all. It obviously doesn't help you. So, you see her kind of mentally shrugging, or the form of her kind of shrugging. She kind of thinks for a moment. What do you need to know? Let's see. I'm taking you know nothing of this Doom Vault aside from what you've heard from Lan and myself, correct?
That is
Correct.
correct.
That she nods. She says, for centuries, the Doom Vault was a legend. Khazit Ghul, a red wizard who spent his life studying the deadliest dungeons on many worlds, planned it. As a living human and a lich, Ghul fashioned the vast complex based on his research. The purpose of the dungeon was to lure explorers to their deaths and harvest their souls to fuel Ghul's phylactery. Unfortunately, as they became more hostile to outsiders, fewer people sought the Doom Vault. Eventually, unable to fuel his phylactery, Ghul became a demi-lich instead of a lich. Zastam discovered the Doom Vault and saw the opportunity to rebuild and repurpose it.
Wait, so this lich came in and took over the Doom Vault from the Demi Lich? Am I hearing that right?
With that, Serrano nods. Says, precisely.
What happened? I'm guessing the Lich killed the Demi Lich? We're not going to come across a Demi Lich and a Lich, are we?
No, I thought she said that the leader of the Thay came in and took over.
With that, she nods. She says, Zastam is a lich. He is the leader of Thay.
Okay.
However, he will more than likely, unless you draw just all kinds of attention to this place, will not be joining us in the Doom Vault. He only keeps some of his phylacteries as well as those of his elite guard in the phylactery vault, from what I've been told. Hopefully that is true. As far as what happened to Khazit Ghul, I know not. I would imagine he may be down in the Doom Vault. Possibly. He could be dead. He seems like, kind of referring back to Saztem, says Saztem is not stupid, unfortunately, and a Demi-Lich is hard to come by. If he was able to sway Khazit Ghul to his favor, even after taking over the Doom Vaults, he may very yet well be alive.
And what motivation would Khazit have to be swayed to begin with?
Staying alive, more than likely. All liches share one commonality. They all do not want to die. They take on the forms of undead, their skin rotting away to almost nothing, making phylacteries so that they could stay alive for even longer. If Saztam had offered not to kill Khazit Ghul, that would be more than enough to swing him to his side, I would think.
And you mentioned something about these elite guard?
With that, she nods, says yes. Saztam never goes anywhere without an elite guard of undead, of demi-liches, essentially, all around him. That's why no one's been able to get even close enough to try to kill him and try to take out his own phylacteries. Even if we were able to find any here or somewhere else, it'd be almost impossible to get on there with even more demi-liches to deal with before getting to Saztam. But if you were to take out the phylacteries here in the Doom Vault, well, that's step one in our plan.
So then wouldn't that make this phylactery room heavily guarded?
Oh, assuredly. In fact, it's so heavily guarded that we do not know where it is. None of my spies who have come out of there, what brief insight they could give us, nobody knows where the phylactery vault lies. That's why you're here. She kind of smiles.
And what other
It's the-
dangers lie ahead?
That she kind of thanks once again. She says the Doom Vault is a vast, active complex of laboratories and menageries dedicated to creating the monstrous armies with which the Red Wizards plan to conquer first the North and then all of Faerun. The dungeon is divided into sectors dedicated to the creation and control of these monsters. So, mad beasties, I suppose? Along with, of course, undead and who knows what else.
So every question I'm asking. Okay. Okay.
Honestly, there's one major thing that you should know about. Each sector is subdivided into protected zones for security, defending against attack from outside and betrayal from within, as well as the escape of the confined creatures. Magical white gates block corridors, preventing physical access between zones. Magical black gates are teleportation circles that connect different parts of the dungeon. With that, she kind of tells you, no, come back. What the fuck? Aha. She says the white gates will be a 10-foot diameter circle of runes and clear quartz fragments set into the floor. Within the circle, a luminous white mist will shimmer. You won't be able to see through it very easily. She says the black gates, much like the whites, are 10-foot diameter circles of runes, but they have black onyx fragments set into the floor. You will see wisps of shadowy energy that looks like curling black smoke. That is what their appearance will be. To go through any of these, you will need, and as she says this, you see a hand kind of appear in this image of her face, holding a key, and as she kind of lowers it down, the key actually appears right in front of you. She motions for you to pick it up. She says, it looks more like a crystal than a key would actually be. She says, this crystal is called a glyph key. It is attuned to the zone that I will send you. It'll allow you to access that zone's gate and travel between it and another point. She says the glyph keys can be attuned to certain areas. Once they're attuned, they can't be changed without someone like myself messing with them. You will not be able to do so. So if you have to have a key reattuned to another zone, you will have to contact me. With that, she says, and contacting me, there will be contact stones in various places throughout the Doom Vault. That's how people within there contact me at the gate to get transferred out. You will have to find these, and that is how you will be able to contact me. And if you need to rest for whatever reason, I should be able to get you out of there, at least for a short amount of time. Just keep in mind that anytime the Doom Vault goes on alert, there may be people trying to leave and spread word of what you're doing inside there. Keep in mind that my people, my spies, as well as Lands, are stopping these people and possibly dying to do so. With that, she kind of has a somber look on her face, very much saying, don't rest too much. She thinks again for a moment. She says, did you see Land's wounds? I'd assume he was still hurt by the time he came to contact y'all.
Yes.
Seem grievous indeed.
That she nods. Yes. He fought a lich named Taruvar. I cannot say that right.
Hey, sound good.
Tarulvar. It's hard to say with this accent. Says Land was able to defeat this lich, but we weren't able to take out his phylacteries. Be careful. He may be in the Dread Vault or in the Doom Vault as well. If you see him, My recommendation is to run, not fight. Unless you fancy yourself as strong as Lemman Dragarin, then by all means, try to kill a leech. That she kind of thinks. She says, I do not know if there's anything I've forgotten. Do you have any questions for me?
Nope.
I'm good.
Every time I've asked a question, I've gotten a snide remark. So at this point, Markinor's just like done. He's like, I've had enough of this shit.
And that is what happens when you meet a major cynic.
Mm-hmm.
With that, she nods. She says, very well. I wish you the best of luck, and hopefully I will hear from you soon. And with that, the mental or the image that you saw of her face in front of you vanishes, and then you see the bright light once again flare up around you. And as she does so, she says, oh, by the way, I'm not dropping you into a place without people. Hopefully you know how to fight or talk your way out of this. And with that, you appear here. That should have drug you all over. Okay, cool. So
yeah.
As you feel once again the ground beginning to sink beneath your feet, kind of floating for a moment, and the ground comes back to meet you once again. The light kind of shimmers away, and you look around. You have to blink for a few moments, and then you see several things around you. Below your feet, you see what must be described as one of the black gates, as swirls of kind of wispy black smoke begins to swirl up around you. As you begin to look around the room, you see several undead, different kinds of undead creatures standing around this room. They all kind of turn around, looking at you, and then what appears to be a very pale-faced woman takes a few steps forward, and she looks at you all, looks you up and down. She says, "What are you doing here? Were you transported from somewhere else?"
You're breaking up really bad, Barwin. We can barely understand you.
Yes, we were.
With that, she kind of looks at Berwin. Well, from where?
Kinda look at her and say, from the outside world, we are sent in here to visit.
With that, she looks at you and says, only people that are brought here are visitors, are prisoners. You don't look like prisoners. And with that, she waves her hands, and all of the people within the room begin moving towards you. Need everyone to roll for initiative, please.
Yes.
Forget to click your character.
Yeah, it's been a minute since y'all did this. Remember?
Oh my goodness. What?
Wow, that crit fail.
The 1 and the 3. Solid.
Character sheets, 4 days. Oh, and it didn't set these. Damn it.
Oh no.
I just need to make that a prep. Go through, check all character sheets, make sure they're whispering rolls in all my campaigns, apparently. Okay. All right, so starting off with this dude. And these dudes.
Combat it is.
And then this dude. Ooh, crit fail. Alrighty, so as the ruse that really wasn't a ruse, you didn't act like prisoners at all, falls, you see all these creatures begin moving for you all. This first creature steps up to Markanor and brings its longsword around twice with both hands. And it rolls a 7 and a 6.
Nope. Not
Yes.
today.
So as this thing takes forward, it looks oddly familiar on its shape and the deterioration and such. It's something that you've seen before, possibly in the Forge of Fury. But with that, you're able to bring his sword up and easily knock away both of its longsword attacks. And with that, Berwin, you're up.
Hmm. Yeah. How big is that again? 5-foot radius. Yeah, I'll do that. I'm gonna cast Moonbeam centered here, so 5 feet around.
Okay.
It doesn't. I don't think it does anything special. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Haven't used it in a hot second. There.
Okay.
So
Alright, so
5-foot radius cylinder. Yeah. Con save for 14 radiant.
Alright, when it starts, you're just using that for a second level spell?
Yes. Nothing special.
Alright. So it's only going to affect the one thing that's inside of it, but...
It should affect this guy too, because it's a radius. So it's 10 feet across.
Oh yeah, 5-foot radius, so 10-foot diameter. Okay, yeah. So everything within 5 feet of that square that I've got on there. Okay.
Yep.
So neither one of these goes. All right. Anything else?
Nope. That's it.
So as Berwin steps forward, begins chanting, waving his hands around, this piercing beam of moonlight comes down from seemingly nowhere in the ceiling, in between these chandeliers that are hanging from the ceiling, centered right on top of this pale-faced female that you can see now opening her mouth and showing elongated fangs within it as her eyes begin to glow red. But she's not quite affected by it yet. This creature is going to shuffle on forward, moving past its ally towards Aelion, and is going to attempt to bring a fist down on Aelion. Does a 13 hit?
Protection.
Does a 7 hit?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. This one is going to move forward. 10, 15. It's going to move into the 5-foot radius, so it needs to make a con save. 16 doesn't
Fails.
enter, so it takes 14 damage.
Yes. 14 radiant.
Okay. Doesn't seem to be too pissed off by the radiant. It shuffles forward. What was that? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And it's going to stop there and also try to attack Markanor. Does a 9 hit.
No.
All right. And it is your turn, Markanor.
Okay. I'm just gonna start hitting things with the hammer because that's
Okay.
what I do. I'm gonna hit the one directly to my left. Or, yeah, right here. West. 20. Havoc.
Sorry, 1 second. F you in the room.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What were you saying? You attacked?
I'm attacking the one to the west, yeah.
Okay, yeah, you hit him with the 20.
Okay. As it hits, this is an undead creature.
Oh, definitely.
And as the hammer hits the head of the warhammer on the sides of it, will start to glow that similar blue hue that's on the shield. That should indicate to the rest of the party there's something else. These are kind of undead creatures, as they could probably figure out for themselves, but as more of a just a helpfulness with the hammer.
All right. Undead alerts from
Undead and fiend, yes. So anytime that I strike something and land the attack on an undead or fiend, the emblem of Tyr's holy symbol lights up on the hammer and kind of brightens the room a little bit as it hits.
Okay.
And I'm guessing it's still standing.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm going to War Priest and do the same thing again.
Okay. Yeah. That's
And I'm also going to Divine Smite on this too.
Oh, okay.
At why not? 4th level. That's not right. It should prompt me. Hold on. Oh, it's because it's not doing it as a spell. Huh. I have to look at that in a bit. And I believe it goes up 1. Wait, no.
Be up till 5d8, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Divine Smite. Sorry, I'm on the wrong one here. Yeah. So up 1. So what is that? 3, 4. So that'd be 5d8 total on that attack.
Okay.
I'll roll that again. And the crit damage.
I hope you kill this.
19.
It's an
from that.
obscene damage.
All right, and then 10d8.
Mm-hmm. Wait, yeah, 10d8.
Yeah, so another 5d8 then.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, for another 20.
Oh yeah. So as you 100% didn't even need the crit. So as you step forward, hitting this creature once, your hammer begins to glow, and as you see it, you quickly spin around and bring it again to bear on this creature. As you do so, you hit the what you know to be a white right in the side of the head, and as you do so, radiant energy just begins to shine brightly from the emblem of Tyr on the side of the warhammer. And as you do so, you rip straight through the head of this creature, just exploding it, essentially erasing it from existence, and the body of the creature falls to the ground, unmoving.
Awesome. And that's my turn.
All right, Aelion.
Well, probably not going to be as spectacular as that, but I'm going to Hunter's Mark this guy right in front of me and stab it a couple times.
Okay. Jesus. All right. Okay. Well, all of those are going to hit.
Oh my. 1, 2, 3. Let's break out the calculator now.
D10, 26, 39, 6 is 40, 5.
Does that include favored enemy?
That doesn't, but they're undead, right? That's not favorite.
Yeah, undead is not your favorite. Humanoids
Okay.
are.
Yeah, it's 46.
What's the at 20? That's the one I need to know.
That's 15.
Oh wait, never mind. It's a critical. Doesn't matter. All right. So as you swing your rapier around twice, you do a good chunk of damage. You notice this creature's just not wearing any armor. It's very slow, very easy to hit, almost comically so, and you easily dismantle it. And as you bring the third strike around, you straddle it right into the center of its skull, and you see the end of your rapier piercing out from its skull, the backside of it, and you quickly pull the rapier out, and it falls to the ground, not moving.
Oh, I'll miss this. Kind of give a salute, and that's it.
All right. Kaylin.
All right, I'm gonna target crazy looking lady in the middle with the chill touch.
Okay.
18 hit,
18 hits.
7 damage, but can't regain hit points. 7 necrotic, and if it's undead, has disadvantage.
Definitely undead.
If they try and attack me.
So as you send out this necrotic energy, you see this, obviously some kind of vampire, though it does look different than the one you encountered in White Plume Mountain. Screech is kind of in pain, shaking its head. It kind of glares at you, Kaylin, but is unable to do anything. Well, now it is able to do something. If you're done.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. So now it reacts, and it's going to be hit by Moonbeam. Go ahead and cast that again.
Yup.
Is it a half damage thing or not?
Yes.
It is? Okay. Because it rolled a 19.
Oh, 5.
So once again, it lets out kind of a low hiss as it gets hit by this, but it doesn't seem to really care as it is hit. So it is going to charge forward
Gotcha.
at Markinor and is going to attempt to grapple you.
Okay.
So give me an athletics or acrobatics check. Oof. All right. So yeah, as it reached forward trying to grapple you, you're able to easily fight off its attacks, but is going to try again. One more check. Damn it.
No.
It rolled
I
higher
said
than
no.
But it said no. All right. So yeah, both times you're able to easily bat this chick aside as she attempts to grab onto you. You see that she is clearly trying to grab hold of you and try to sink her fangs into you, but is unable to do so. This creature is going to have to make another con save. Give me another moonbeam. Oh, it's going to fail. Oof. Chunky damage. Okay. So with that, this creature kind of lumbers through over to where the one that just fell in front of it and attempts to slam down on Aeon. It's a 16 hit.
Nope.
All right, so once again, you're able to dodge it. This guy over here with his 0 initiative is going to lumber on forward, going around the beam of light, because why not, and attempt to hit Markinor. He's going to roll a 5. Damn, almost nat failed. Jesus.
He almost got me.
Almost got
Almost
you
got
as
me.
you didn't even see the guy lumbering up to you. Kind of just turned around. You heard him going. And you're like, "What the hell?" And you see him missing you completely. All right. Well, this guy's dead. Berwin.
I would like to bonus action move it over 5 feet.
Over 5 feet. That is a very ambiguous direction.
This way. To the right. East.
So right there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe I can do that as a bonus.
It's an action, actually.
Oh, that's what I'll do.
All right. So once again, Berwin kind of just holding his hands up to keep this beam in place, just shuffles it over to try to hit more creatures on their turns. And he's going to do so on this guy. This guy's... Okay, roll the damage. Okay, he's going to roll a 19 on that. So
who is he attacking?
he's not attacking yet.
Oh.
He's just trying to save against Moonbeam.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Another Moonbeam, Berwin. Berwin.
Is he still here?
I don't know.
Berwin, you there?
Uh-oh, he's broke.
Okay. Berwin?
Yes, sorry, there was a burning smell that I had to go investigate.
All
We're all
right.
good though.
No fires? Good to go.
No fires?
No fires. No
right.
fires.
Excellent. All right.
What do you need?
Moonbeam again, please.
Ah, yes. I get to test this now. What? Oh, I see what. I gotta get rid of the attack.
Yeah, get
part
rid of
it.
the attack roll.
Yep.
Okay. So it's gonna. All right. So you see this creature beginning to wilt against the damage of it, but as it begins to fall over, you see it shambling back to its feet, and it does not die. And it's gonna swing at Aelion again.
Disadvantage.
I gotta go take care of this. I'll be back.
Yep.
Sorry.
Okay. 18 with disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that hits.
All right. So it brings around and just slams its hand against you for a whole 2 bludgeoning damage.
How will we ever survive?
It's just
Two.
gross, really, more than
Ew.
damaging. All right. I guess I'll roll for him since he has to go take care of this. So, Jesus, he has so much shit. Moonbeam post. Oh, there it is.
Hmm.
There. It's that. It is going to con save. It's going to roll a 20, so it's only going to take 9 damage. It's going to have to con save again. 21. So it's going to, once again, start wilting, but is able to stand back up, and it's going to swing at Markinor. Does a 20 hit?
No.
It tried. It tried so hard.
It gave its best effort.
Yeah, that was literally right next to its best effort. And it swings and misses. Markinor.
Which one? The bottom, the southwest is one that just hit me? Or tried to hit me?
Right. Tried to hit you.
Came very close.
I would like to try to hit it back.
How that hits?
13 bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, so even though this thing saved and was able to fend off against the moonbeam damage and stand back up, your hammer puts a quick swift into it.
And I'm going to look to the south to the vampire lady and kind of grin and bring the hammer down on it as well. 25 for an additional 6 bludgeoning.
All right. Once again, your hammerhead is glowing as it strikes this creature, indicating that it is indeed undead.
All right. And that is my turn.
All right. It's still looking raring to go, even with all these attacks.
Yeah.
Leon.
Well, this guy right to my south just hit me, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm going to use my bonus action to Hunter's Mark it,
Okay.
and then proceed to stabby stab.
Both hit. All right. So on the first one, it's gonna attempt to stay alive. It's gonna stay alive. On the second one, it's also gonna once again try to stay alive, and it's gonna stay alive. So even though you're landing these precise, strong hits into this creature, it seems to not care. It just keeps coming. It falls to the ground as you stab into one of its legs. It starts to rise back up, and you stab it through its throat, just aiming for all these, vulnerable spots that on living creatures does the job. It seems to not care, though. It's doing nothing to this creature as it keeps coming at you. Anything else?
Well, shit. But no.
All right, Kaylin.
All right, seeing that one in front of Aelion kind of eyes back up, I'm going to try and hit with Chill Touch.
Okay.
15.
15 hits. It's
necrotic.
gonna try to stay alive. It's gonna fail. That's funny. So yeah, as the necrotic energy begins to seep through this creature that just is necrotic by itself, you're able to finally slay it as it's beginning to move towards Aelion once again to attack.
What's so special about you, huh? Why can't you kill him?
I can kill one zombie. Anything else, Kaylin?
Yeah, that's it for me.
All right. Well, this chick's not happy with Markinor, so she's going to attempt to grapple him again. God damn it. She's going to roll in that one.
Must we continue to try this? If you wanted a hug, all you
more
had to
time.
do was ask, and I would greet you
One
with
more
my hammer.
try at the hug. One more athletics. There it is. Yeah, Jesus. She's not even close this time. So yeah, as you run forward, or as she lunges forward, once again, you're able to just easily bat her away and then kind of grab her forearms, and shove her back away from you. As you do so, you see the wound that you had hit her with the hammer begins to kind of seal itself up, seeming like you had never hit her at all.
Mhm.
And this guy's dead. This guy's not, though. And he lunges forward at Markinor. 19.
Nope.
Would have hit anybody else, but not you. And Berwin.
I think he had to step away.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, he is back, just in time.
What's
It
up?
is your turn.
Oh, it's my turn?
Mm-hmm. Vampire Lady's still alive, and the thing to the west here is still alive.
I don't have to move Moonbeam, so... Yeah. Aim.
What?
Produce throw a bit of fire at her.
Okay.
No.
That +9 though. Damn.
You know what I need.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think I've had this one, but I've had close.
No, we've had this one once before. So Berwin, as you're beginning to chant, still holding control of your moonbeam, you actually bite your tongue. And as you do so, you feel that you're not going to be able to use the verbal components of spells until the end of your next turn.
Okay.
Got to talk slower. All right. Anything else?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Markador. Okay. Uh, 17 hits. It was 2d4 or something like that. Yeah, I think we nerfed it a little bit because since it's diluted. So it was like 2d6 normally. So yeah, 2d4. We'll just do it that on the weapon version. Okay. Okay. 12 will not hit, unfortunately. Alrighty. So as you quickly smash the bottle onto your weapon, which we may have to work something out on that now that I'm thinking about it more. You're able to do so and swing it around. As you hit this creature, you see the bludgeoning damage does it. You see a massive cave-in begin to go on across where you hit her. You see also the wound actually begins to burn a bit from the holy water as it makes contact with your skin. Yeah, that's fine. I always assume you're going to have that on there. I'm just thinking that it's maybe too powerful to do it all in one turn. Or... Right. Okay. Alrighty. So as that happens, Aelion.
I just muted myself. So I'm gonna finally turn my gaze towards this apparent vampire.
I was muted. I'm
use
sorry,
my
guys.
bonus action, the hunter, to move my hunter's mark to her, and then give her the old stabby stab.
Yeah, both those will hit.
21.
Yeah. Once again, not feeling the favorite enemy kick in, knowing this to be another undead, but you're able to do a good old chunk of damage to her. She kind of squeals in pain. You see her wounds are not closing now.
Press the attack, friends.
Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Kaylin.
Alright. I'm gonna try and hit her with Chill Touch again. 16.
16 hits.
It's another 8 necrotic.
All right.
And that's it for me.
Okay. It's going to be her turn. She's got to save again. Give me Moonbeam again. She's going to save and only take
9.
damage.
Yeah, 9.
But she's looking pretty beat up, especially with all this radiant damage coming in. That being said, she is once again going to try the grapple fest with Markinor. She is determined. She rolled a 5. She wants to hug you again. Okay, it's a little higher this time. Give me one more. Come on, roll low. Do it. Do it. Damn it.
Never.
This tactic is failing. So yeah, she does that, and once again is unable to regenerate or anything. This guy just kind of lumbers, seeing Markinor just not taking any damage, is going to move up towards Kaylin and try to go for the squishier target. And 9. I think that misses.
Nah.
Yeah, so it reaches around, and these creatures, this is turning into a freaking Benny Hill skit. Just missing epically. And Berwin.
Oh wait, I can't cast a spell because my the crap out of my tongue. So bow. I'm kind of pinned in the corner. I don't think it hits her, does it?
Her? No.
Yep. That's it.
All right, so as you all clearly turn around, just trying to figure out why Berwin wasn't casting a spell, you see a little trickle of blood coming out of his mouth, and I understand that he probably bit his tongue.
I hit my tongue, guys. It kind of hurts.
And kind of distracted by the pain, he shoots a longbow or an arrow off from his longbow, and it goes wide of this chick down here. Markinor.
So good.
Markinor.
Are you muted?
I'm here. I'm gonna try to hit her with the hammer. And I wasn't sure how you wanted to look at the radiant from the holy water.
Oh no, it's still gonna go. We did 2 turns
Okay.
before, so it's gonna keep going like that for now.
Okay.
I don't change during mid-fight. But yeah, 24 different hits.
D4. So 14 radiant, or 7 radiant and 7 bludgeoning damage.
All right.
And then seeing the other one still alive back behind me, I'm going to. What do I want to do? Oh, I still have the sword. I'm gonna move the sword up directly behind that one, and I'm going to attack it with the longsword.
Okay. Won't take much to hit it.
Uh,
Yeah, definitely hits.
Yeah. For 8 force damage.
All right, so after you hit this creature, once again, you see that she is staggering, barely standing at this point. Her skin just burning and beginning to leak off of her skeletal frame from all of this radiant damage. Your sword comes around and actually lops off a huge chunk of this zombie moving around towards Kaylin. But it's still standing. Both of them are still standing. Aelion.
Okay.
I'm just gonna take a quick 2 shot at this wench.
First will hit, second will not. Yeah, she got nothing to say for. So as you bring the rapier around, she's once again trying to lunge forward against Markinor as a last-ditch effort, and you catch her right through the throat with your rapier as she does so, ending her life, her undead life. She's
Kinda.
dead again.
I'll sort of dodge around Markinor, and then I'll use my bonus action. This other dude.
Okay.
How about a 10?
10 hits.
Oh, can I do it?
Can he secure the double kill? He cannot.
No.
So as he brings Shatter Spike around, he cleaves a good chunk out of this thing's what little flesh it has left hanging off its body, but it is still raring to go.
Listen.
Anything else?
No.
All right, Kaylin.
What do I want to do? Let's just do that. Sacred Flame. 18 dex save.
I rolled a 17. It was close.
10 radiant.
Yeah, it's actually still standing.
Son of a bitch.
Actually, rolled a 19, but that's -2. 17. Yeah, it is looking like it's barely holding itself together, but it is still standing.
That's it for me.
All right. Now she is dead. This guy's gonna wind up and slam down. Ooh, a 22.
Disadvantage.
A 21
Uh-oh. On who?
on Kaylin.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Yeah, so it brings down, is able to catch you with the side of its fist for 6 bludgeoning damage. Kind of grunts. Berwin.
And you watch Caitlin's health bar go nowhere.
Berwin.
Literally.
Yes.
Your tongue doesn't hurt anymore. Yay!
Yay!
Yay.
Fire!
That hits.
Good.
So once again, Berwin shoots out this mini fireball that hits directly onto this creature, and it begins to burn away some of its flesh. But as the fire dissipates, you see this creature still standing and still moving forward.
That's it.
All right, Arcanor. Yeah.
Okay.
How much damage you dropping? 13. Oh God, it's gonna roll so high. Oh, and in that 20s. It's
And-
still going.
Low roll on my thing. Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah, it's still going. Chugging along.
All right.
The little zombie that could. Anything else?
No. No.
Alien.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna do all of them.
Okay, well, they're all gonna hit. Just roll damage one at a time so I can do my con save. All right, so 9. It's gonna save. 9 again. It went higher this time. Still saved.
And another 9. Oh my god.
And an 18. It went even higher.
Oh my god.
It's still standing. I will slowly chip you all to death with one zombie. So once again, just hacking away. You took off an arm of this thing with your second stroke. It's still going. It refuses to die. Kaylin.
DC 18 Wisdom save.
Yeah, it's gonna fail that. Yeah. So.
I'm assuming it's taken some damage at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
It
yeah.
has.
No, it's-
11 necrotic.
At least 18.
all right, so 11. So it's gonna
No,
be.
18.
Oh, it finally failed. So
I was gonna be really disappointed if I got to use, or if I had to use Turn Undead to try to kill this thing.
on the one zombie.
On the one zombie, I was like to that point where I was like, I really don't want to do this.
Almost.
It was rolling like 16 and above every undead Constitution save. All right, so yeah, finally with this toll going off, the zombie moving forward towards Kaylin again freezes for a moment and then kind of shambles to the ground as the evil forces that caused it to be animated finally dissipated. And with that,
Jesus.
you are out of combat.
I'll walk over and stake the shit out of that one vampire just to be safe.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I just remember the last time we fought a vampire, pull a stake out of my pack, right in the heart.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how hard are you staking?
Pretty damn hard. So
Okay.
let's see. If you can roll like 3 9s in a row, go with 9.
Okay. Okay.
Is it still there? Or is it turned to ash? Moonbeam.
As you compared to last time you fought a vampire, you noticed that as it seemed to get to its the doors of death, it vanished into a cloud of mist and took off, disappearing back to its coffin, its place of rest. You notice this thing has not done that. It fell. Its body's still sitting there, and even as you stake it, nothing happens. You seem to be staking a corpse.
Yeah, fuck that. Precautions.
Hey, do what you want. This battle begins to wind down, you notice something before you didn't really hear as you entered the room and were immediately met by all these undead creatures. You begin to listen. You hear what appears to be shouting and some no small amount of screams coming from down the stairs off to your west. As you look around the room, you see scorched and shattered plaster shows faint signs of frescoes that once covered the walls here. A half dozen ruined chandeliers hang from the cracked ceiling. And where you're standing, for the most part, in the northeast corner, you see a black gate.
So do we go towards the screaming?
When would we go elsewhere?
Give me perception checks as you look into this room.
Plus 10 and a 13?
So, as you begin to look around this corner, it's so weird only having 4 compared to the 6 that I've been having here recently. I kept waiting on more rolls. um, so, yeah, as you begin to look into this room, you see a somewhat disheartening display going on. In front of you, you see what appears to be about a 15-foot deep pit in the middle of the room. And as you're looking over the edge, you see what appears to be a large creature surrounded by 9 people, 8 of which appear to be humans of various sizes that not really made for fighting. And you see what appears to be another gold elf dancing around. Seems a little bit more accustomed to fighting within the group down the bottom. Standing outside the pit on the edge, his arms crossed and just kind of watching the fight unfold below him, you see what appears to be another vampire. He doesn't look all that amused. He seems to be watching this more business-like than anything. Everybody in the middle is fighting in the pit. Yes, it looks like that thing is indiscriminately attacking all around it, and they're trying to survive against it. So yeah, as you're walking into the room, moving at the top of the stairs, you see the vampire actually turn his head and look over towards you. He kind of raises an eyebrow, but then turns his head back towards the pit, looking down at the group. It's hard to really tell. I mean, it seems like these people are trapped inside this pit with this creature. That is what you're really getting from what you're seeing from the outside.
Yeah.
As you move closer to the pit, you feel psychic energy almost compelling you to jump in. Give me a wisdom saving throw. With advantage, actually. Because charmed and fucking elves. All right. So even though initially you feel yourself being drawn forward, you're able to fight against the influence, as it seems like as you get closer to the pit, something is commanding you to jump into it. It almost seems like proximity to the pit, not the vampire itself.
How deep is the pit? 15.
The rest of the group, you just saw Markinor walk forward, looking at it, kind of grab his head for a moment, and then continue observing.
Do we want to drop a fireball on top of all of them?
Probably not.
Great idea.
It is one idea. Iliad just kind of pulls out his bow and aims towards this creature.
As you all begin to raise bolts and weapons and prepare that, you see the vampire looking over at you once again. It kind of tilts its head to the side. You hear a kind of commanding voice come out of him, even over the ruckus of the fight going on, as you see this gold elf reach around and score a hit on the creature, leaving a pretty wide gash on it. She actually seems like she knows what she's doing and might be able to take care of it herself. But this vampire turns and looks over at you and says out loud, "I do not know what you're doing here, but you will not ruin the fun by not jumping into the pit with him. If you want to stand and watch, you may, but I will not allow you to attack from outside the pit." With that, you see him shrug. Says, "What happens to them is not my concern. I am forced to be here and oversee these transgressions. I will not have them ruined and have my area brought under scrutiny by you." With that, you see him kind of grimace, his teeth on full display as he scowls, not at you, but at nothing for the most part. He looks around. He says, "The Thayans, they have locked me here and made me watch over these instances of these creatures fighting. This is my job." And as you're talking, you see the creature lunge forward and actually score a hit on the one of the humans down below it, and this man falls to the ground dead.
Sure.
Yeah. That's something Galen's already doing.
All right. You all jump it in. All right. At that point, we're going to roll for initiative.
Hey, there we I don't. What even?
What? Wow, this thing is a monstrosity. And
All right. So as you move forward, you see this pit is very easy to go up and down to get in and out of it. But as you both move forward, you do feel that kind of psychic energy compelling you to stay inside the pit, to get inside of it and stay within it. But that being said, you're willingly going to do so. Berwin, you're up first.
Hmm. What do I want to do? I would like to Guardian of Nature, Primal Beast, and then go Dire Wolf as my action.
Okay. God, I have no idea where your token is. I might have assigned it. Did I do it? Am I smart? Am I?
I hope so.
Aha!
It's so
Yes.
tiny and oh, now
He's
it's
so
normal
smart.
size. It's so tiny and
You'll
cute.
have to add all your stuff to it, though.
Okay. Oh, geez.
This right.
Can you give me 120-foot dark vision, please, sir?
I'm working on it. I am but a
Okay.
man.
Because I can't see a thing.
Yeah, I can do that in a minute. I'm not going to be working on stuff in the middle of the game. I've done this thing since I've learned, but y'all gotta remember, y'all were my first group. I did not know everything I know today.
Ha 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 ha. We are the guinea pigs.
All right, with that, Berwin once again grows fur around his body, taking on a bestial form before taking on an actual beast form, turning into his direwolf form. Aelion.
I'm going to use my bonus action to move my hunter's mark to this monstrous thing,
Okay.
then pull my bow out and fling a few arrows.
What's its AC? There it is. Those were all 3 hit. Yeah, okay, there you go.
24, 35.
Did you do your
I
hunter's
didn't
mark as
even
well?
hunter's mark.
Yeah.
Do it like that for right now.
So how much is it?
45.
Yeah, 45. All right. Anything else?
I'll take a couple steps closer and contemplate jumping in.
As you move closer, give me a wisdom saving throw.
With
You're
advantage, right?
yeah, with advantage. That's plenty. So
Right.
you're fine. As you move closer, you much like the others feel a draw moving you to get into the pit and slay this creature in front of you before you exit out of the pit again. But you're able to save against it. This creature takes a volley of blows, just ricocheting off of it. You see that it's already been wounded by this female elf that's in front of it, brandishing a great sword. But it is still barely standing. It is heavily wounded now. And it's his turn. So it is going to pick somebody at random. Actually, no, it's going to attack the chick in front of it. So what's it going to do? So as this thing is just getting pelted by blows, it looks around kind of panicking, and it raises its beak into the air and lets out this stunning screech through the air. I need everybody except Aelion and Kaylin to give me con saving throws. So Markinor and Berwin. Berwin? Oh, there it is. Ooh, okay. So as this creature lets out this bellowing scream through the air, you feel almost, Markinor especially, you feel the stunning effects going through your body, but you're able to fight them off. Unfortunately, as you look to your south, you see Berwin and his direwolf form lowering his head as he is completely stunned by this creature. You will be stunned until the end of its next turn. And it is also going to attempt to hit the chick in front of it with its talons. Ooh, 22. That's going to hit. So it catches her for a little damage. She takes a slash across the chest, even though she's wearing pretty heavy armor. She is going to retaliate with 2 greatsword slashes. Not 20s. Yeah, so as you both move down into there, you see these arrows flying over. It screams out loud. It attempts to take out the chick in front of her, and she just, with a kind of loud yell, brings her greatsword down twice and lops the head off of this creature with the second shot. And it falls to the ground, writhing in place for a few moments before dying.
Look at the group down here, and a bit of a raised eyebrow. Look to the elf lady and say, "Did you come here willingly?"
With that, you see the this golden elf turn around towards you, and she kind of hefts the greatsword out beside her. Even though it's fairly large, she whips it out with one arm and splashes the creature's blood onto the ground beside her, and then raises her sword up to her shoulder to rest it there. She looks at you and says, "Nobody comes here willingly, my friend."
I'll be honest, I'm kind of lost on this area here, so I don't know a lot. I know what you told me, but I don't know a lot about the area. I'll look to her and say, then if you're not here willingly, then why did they bring you to the pit to fight this beast?
With that, she kind of stretches. She says, "The Thayans were not a fan of me during the assault on the Bloodgate north of Daggerford. They captured me, unfortunately, and brought me here, and all of us," and she kind of motions around to the prisoners, and she even points up towards the vampire, "even him, are prisoners here for their amusement as they tinker with," and she turns around, she points down at this creature, and it begins to melt away into this black ichor sinking into the ground. She continues, as they continue their experiments and machinations with these fiends they'd like to summon.
And was it your resistance at, you said Daggerford, right?
Yeah.
Was it your resistance at Daggerford that caught you to be brought here? Why exactly? I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'm just curious to know what her resistance, why she was pulled here for resisting the attacks. Why did they keep her instead of just slaying her?
Okay, so you're asking why she was kept alive and not...
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So with that, she looks around. She says, Do you not know anything of the Doom Vault, my friend? These Thayans, they experiment on people here. They experiment with dark magic and the planes of existence. We are lab rats. We are test dummies for their amusement. They could kill me, yes. I was captured and at their mercy, but why kill me when I'm a valuable resource to them? I could be used for testing these creatures to see if they're worthy to be used to attack places such as at the Bloodgate.
And where did they bring this abomination from?
Where do any creatures that are devils or fiends come from? The plains of hell. They summoned it here.
I keep hearing Caitlin. I keep thinking that he's trying to say something.
Feel free if anybody else wants to jump in.
Yeah.
Grr, rar, grr.
Stupid direwolf. So they summon them from the gate plains of.
That is what she said.
But she also said these were experiments too, so that's why I asked why or where they brought them from. She said this was an experiment. She didn't say it was something that was summoned from hell. So that's...
Experimentation summoning?
Hmm.
I'm confused where you're losing track. They summon the creature from hell, then use it, experiment on it, quote unquote, basically by putting it into battle and say, hey, if you can kill these people, you're good enough for us. That's their experiment.
God.
So it's not... Yeah, I guess I misunderstood when you first said that she initially pointed at it and said it was an experiment. I took that as they created it there and, okay. So.
I mean, essentially created it. They summoned it, but yeah, no. I mean, the experiment is it or them surviving. One of the two.
Okay.
It's a devilish game.
And I'm obviously not going to do well tonight.
Terrible.
So I don't know what else to say.
Church.
I'm sorry, guys. You're gonna have to take over because I'm apparently just terrible at this game tonight. So I can't think straight for any of it.
And so, Vampire, what is your role in all of this? I know you're here to watch, that's your job, but why would they think that you are better to watch than not fight?
With that, he kind of looks down at you, Kaylin. He says, no creature will ever escape here with me being its warden. That is why I'm here. I'm here to make sure creatures like that, and he points down at the fiend that's still being reduced to ichor, do not escape or take out any of the other guards in this area. I don't do so willingly, but it is my job nonetheless.
I can understand and respect that. You have no choice. I've been put in a situation similar. You say there are other guards around here? Are they in the same plight as you, or are they actually loyal to the Thayans?
With that, you see him shrug. He looks over to where you came from, up the stairs. He says, some of them were there. I guess you took care of them. Otherwise, you wouldn't be down here now. I do not know of anywhere else in this area. I've been trapped in this one section for quite a while. But there are other Thayans moving to and from this area. Though where they are exactly now, I do not know.
And do you know of any other gates or portals besides the one up in that room to our east?
With that, he points to his south, to a pathway there. He says, there is a white gate down there. The glyph key can be used to go through it. As far as anywhere else, I'm not too sure. I keep my sights on this fighting pit and the area around it. I don't go anywhere else.
Hmm. You don't go. And that passage to the north, do you know what's down that direction?
With that, he kind of shrugs. He says, I do not know what lays on the other side, but I know the area is called the Predator Pools. And he kind of motions to the area around him, pointing off to not only here, but also to the northeast. He says, this section is called the Abyssal Prisons, due to the abyssal creatures they bring here.
Where do they bring them from?
With that, he kind of shrugs. He says, I do not know. I do not take part in any of their ghastly machinations of summoning these creatures to use at their own ends.
They just summon them here?
That once again, he shrugs. That's what I assume. That's normally how fiends arrive to our plane, is through some kind of summoning ritual.
There must be places. They just pits. I'm content to move.
Yeah, we can go. As I turn to climb out of the pit, am I being forced to stay in the pit?
You actually notice there's no psychic energy forcing you to do so now.
Okay.
Seems like it was tied to the life of that fiend that was there.
Okay. Kind of jumping and grabbing onto the ledge, climb out, look back.